Welcome to another book review session. Today we have Jyoti ji with us with the book The Archer. So, over to you, Jyoti ji.
Hello, hello everybody. Good morning. Good morning, Bibliophile family. First of all, thank you for giving this chance for me to express my views on this really amazing book called The Archer. It is written by a very well-known author, Paulo Coelho, and it. Wait, my system is not okay. Now it's working. As you must have read know about this very famous novel called The Alchemist, he's the author of that novel. In this particular novel, he has used archery, which is a sport of bow and arrow, where he has used it as a metaphor for the life changes and experience life towards, self discovery, spirituality, things like that. He has really used. This spot, and here if you read the title you will see, okay, the archer. So it is not
Hmm.
about the technicalities you see in archery, like what angle you should shoot, or how you should hold your bow, or how much distance you have to keep. It's about the meaning which is deeper than that what is the meaning of when you hold your bow or when you see a target, and what are the thoughts that you go through it. So it's like that one step ahead of what is seen. And so first we will discuss about the setting, that where how this novel is woven. So first is that there is a character called the archer, whose name is Tetsuya, and he is the world renowned most amazing, the number one archer of the world. And he has renounced all his luxuries, all his fame and name, and he's living in a remote village with a hidden identity. And as he had a love for woods, so he's working there as a carpenter. So that's how this book starts. And now, once he his identity got revealed by a person, which we will see, then there is a young boy who works in his shop. He really got amazed that under whom he is working, he is none other than but the great guru of the archery. And he tells him that, to teach me this sport. So initially he was hesitant, but seeing the enthusiasm of the young boy, he just goes on and, okay, like, I'll teach you what I know. And that's how this book is written. And it is consist of 13 chapters, which we can relate. The technicalities are like what you do in archery, but what is written inside, it has more than the technicalities. So uh, now we will see, there are three characters. First one is the Tetsuya, who is the guru, and he has shown as the warrior of light. Like, he has
Yes.
everything, but he has renounced it. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need any external validation. Then the second character is a young boy who is the learner, like we all are. So it's the significance of the people who are looking for truth, like we all of us. We
Hmm.
read books, we attend seminars, podcasts, or whatever form of knowledge we can
Learning.
acquire. So the young boy is signified by that. And then the third one is the stranger, who is the validation seeker, which are also we sometimes. So for example, we are studying a lot, and now we are like, okay, now we know. So we would like to validate ourselves, and
Hmm.
how we do, by giving some exams, or
Exams.
asking someone who is also master to have a check on us. So
Hmm.
these are the three main characters, where uh, the whole book is mostly covered by Tetsuya and the young boy. And the stranger has just a role where he just comes into the picture. He's already a master of archery, but he would like to validate his skills, by having the validation of the great guru Tetsuya, and he was in a quest of finding him, and finally he got a little tip that he is living in this village, and then he goes there and asks him to validate his skills, but Tetsuya, he doesn't want to do this, so he just took him a promise that if anyone asks you about your quest, just tell them I am dead. And your quest was in vain. In that promise, uh, he confirms, okay, I'll validate your skills. So that's the only role of the stranger. And now we will move forward with the lessons that Tetsuya has gained to this very young learner, the enthusiastic learner. Sorry. Okay. So now the lesson number one. Right? Slides. Yes. So first one is the allies. So it's very important that who you are company in with. For example, when we were young, our moms and parents used to tell that, in Hindi it is called Jaisi Sangat, Vaisi Rangat.
Yeah.
So whoever you are with your friends, you get become like that. And this is really nice line. The first one, the archer who doesn't share with others the joy of bow and the arrow will never know his own qualities and defects. So if you are doing something and you are not sharing it with anyone, so you are just keeping it with yourself, you will never know how good you are, how bad you are. And it doesn't mean that you should only be friends with someone who is doing things just like you. It can be anyone. But what author is suggesting, that you should be friends with the people who are not afraid to make mistakes. Yeah, because people who are afraid to make mistakes, they do certain things repetitively, and then there is no growth, there is no
Yeah.
learning. And the people who are, the world builder, the revolutionizer, they are generally the one who are not afraid to do mistakes, because they keep on doing mistakes, and then one day they find something which is actually not known and really useful to the whole word. And there is a very nice example which author is given, which is that from a good baker you can learn how to use your hands and how to get the right mix of ingredients. From farmer you will learn to have patience, to work, to respect the season and not curse the storm, as it will be a waste of time. So you don't have to see that what actually that person is doing. You just
Mm.
need to see how that person is perceiving that whatever work or activity he is or she is doing. So that's the meaning of allies. Then we have another one. We have um, next lesson, which is the bow.
Mm.
So the bow is here signifies the source of the life, and as the arrow will leave one day to target, but the bow will stay with you. So a bow is shown as something which is the hardcore thing, which have all the energies which and through which you can direct your life. Yeah, so
Mm.
it is shown as the extension of archer, and with the help of the bow either you can meditate or kill. So it's like when you are holding a bow, either you are meditating or you are looking like, "Okay, I have these skills, now what to do." Yeah, or if you are not in the thinking mode, then you are actually implementing those skills. It could
Mm.
be anything, like when you are painting, when you are so during painting you are in your meditation zone, when you are thinking, okay, what to paint, how to paint, which colors to use, what kind of thing I would like to show from my painting. And the second mode is when you are actually painting, when you have picked the brush and started bringing your creativity on the paper. So but for that you really have to be clear about your intentions, because if you are not clear about your intentions, you will just mess things up. So you have a source of energy, But you really need to be very crystal clear about your thoughts, because that source of energy is a part of you, and what it brings out is the extension of your thoughts. Yeah. Now we have the third lesson, which is the arrow. And arrow symbolizes the intention, like the bow symbolizes the energy. And as I said, that the arrow should be very crystal clear and balanced, as it unites the strength of the bow with the center of the target. So if you have seen that the arrow, it just fixes at one point, it just touches at one point to the whole long lengthy bow. So even if the arrow is, little bit be shifted upward, downward, tilted, then it's not good for your target, right?
Okay.
It's not good for what you are aiming for. So it is better that you interrupt it if you are not sufficiently precise or correct. It is not good to act carelessly just because you have things. It's like that, if you are doing painting, just because you have colors, you don't have to paint it. You need to first think, you have to be crystal clear, and then go, because once you start doing it, there is no going back. Once it leaves, it leaves. Yeah. and and the second lesson on the same arrow, what it is that never hold back from firing the arrow if all that paralyzes you is fear of making a mistakes. So if you are not starting just because you are scared that, okay, whatever I paint or whatever I do, it's never gonna up to mark, it's not good, I can't even draw a straight line, things like that, then you will never start, because you are so scared of the mistake. So it should never be the case, just start doing it. Yeah. But the intention should be clear. So there is a really nice catch here, that you should not be scared, but you should be crystal clear. Now we go to fourth sorry, mouse.
Fourth lesson. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So the next lesson is the target, which is the target is the objective to be reached. So target is something which should be chosen by you. Because we have this thing, okay, that's the target, and sometimes you perceive it as an enemy, right? But that should be not the case. You should choose your target, and you should fully respect it. And if you are not able to make it, you should take the full accountability of it. Yeah, you just can't say, okay, maybe I'm not feeling good enough, or the opponent is stronger. No, because you have chosen this target. So you have to be you have to be taken the full
बहुत ही मस्त
responsibility.
खुशबू आ रही है.
So there's this line that the target can be larger, smaller, to the right
मैं
or to
खुशबू
the
सुना
left,
रही है.
but you always have to stand before it, respect it, and bring it closer mentally. Mm. And if you view the target as the enemy, you might well hit the target, but you will not improve anything inside yourself. um, so it simply means that if you are just looking at the target as an enemy, and maybe you will able to hit it, but then there is no self reflection here. You are just doing the things technically. So whenever you are choosing the target, give it the enough respect and the dignity, and that's how you will encounter with yourself, and you will develop the required intuition and training. And then the next lesson is the posture. So, posture, once you understood the bow, the arrow, the target, you must have the serenity and elegance necessary to learn how to shoot. So, I mean, when you do any sport or even when you work, you should know that the posture is really important. So, for example, if you are listening to this book review while just, lying on the bed, then you will not be that attentive. It won't be that, fruitful. But if you are really on your working chair or in such a position um, where where you are all alert, then it really makes a difference. So it's about so this is what the posture tries to tell us. And there's this line that elegance is not something superficial, but the way in which a man can do honor his life and his work. So sometimes people say that, why should I make that posture? It is uncomfortable. It is superficial. I'll just do however I want. But um, that's not the thing. uh, Anything, if anything which is needed to be done, it has a certain elegance, it has a certain
Mm.
posture. That's how it has to be done, and it should not be complicated. Yeah, you just can't say that I'll be doing archery or playing any sport with my shoulders bent, back bent, and then I'll do. No, you don't have to make it complicated. It looks comfortable, but it is so complicated. So you need to really respect the work that you are doing, and once you can feel it, your elegance or your posture will appear by itself. And then he's really given this nice quote, that the snow is lovely because it has only one color. The sea is lovely because it completely to be flat surface, but both sea and snow are deep and know their qualities. So it's really simple that, if this snow and the sea, we look at it and our heart just feels so happy, our eyes feel so soothing. And it is just one simple quality they have, they are not complicated. And
Mm.
if you are just being one quality that you have, and rather than being overdoing things or being complicating it, it will not do any good. You just have to be
Mm.
simple and sober, and that will bring out the best in you. And now the sixth lesson, which is, okay, sorry, my mm, so the sixth lesson is how to hold the arrow. So to hold the arrow is to be in touch with your intention. So we know that the arrow is the representation of your in
In
okay, sorry for it. Okay, so we all know that arrow is the significance of the intentions, and when you hold the arrow, you are in complete touch of your intention. And so when you are holding an arrow, you must look along the whole length of arrow, check the feathers guiding its flights are well placed, and make sure that the point is sharp. So what it means that when you are in touch with your intention, you should really be clear about that, why you have that intention, what do you want to do with that intention. And you should be really crystal clear about it, because once you are crystal clear about it, you can really place it where you want. So what is also said that a single arrow once sank a ship which is really big because the man who shot it knew where the wood was weakest and so made a hole that allowed the water to seep silently into the hole. So it simply shows that if you really know about your intention, you can make a hole on a big things. You can really achieve big things if you are clear um, about your intentions. And then there is one line, these lines which I really want to recite, is the arrow is the intention that leaves the archer hands and sets off the target. That is, it is free in flight and will follow the path chosen from when it was released. It will be affected by the wind and by the gravity, but that is a part of trajectory. A leaf doesn't cease to be a leaf merely because a storm tore it from the tree. So these are really pretty lines, and
Mm,
what he meant then, once your intention is cleared and you have set your skill, you have left set the arrow on the fire, then the then that intention, that thing is just working because you have already given direction to it. Yeah. And uh, the things like wind and gravity is showing the external chaos, that whatever external
mm,
chaos you
yeah.
have, it doesn't affect your intention. Yeah. You just can't say because I had so much stress, and because there is a party going on, so I couldn't study. If your intention is not clear, you will say that's the meaning of the external factors like wind and gravity here. If your intention is clear, you will do what you really wanted to do. Now, the seventh lesson is how to hold a bow. So here, uh, so we remember that we have seen bow as the source of energy. And when you have a source of energy and you are holding it, so how you gonna hold it? That's it is about. So what author is suggested that when you hold a bow, you have to be relaxed, you have to be calm, so that you will concentrate at every stage, at every you can really feel it. What feel that that source of energy. If you are nervous, then you will become shaky and you won't be able to focus. And then, not just that, you also know that when you are holding a bow, your opponents are actually seeing you. They know how you are holding it by just your hold. They can figure out whether you are some seasonal person or you are some nervous person. So everybody is watching you, and it can really build pressure. But what
Mm,
is important is that take the deep breath and be there, be concentrated, don't be tensed, and hold that source of energy with all the concentration that you have. Now, now the eighth lesson, which is how to draw the bowstring. So bowstring, it's really that big thing where arrow touches only one point, and all the archer's knowledge and experience should be concentrated on that small point. So it's really a very nice concept of bowstring, that you have this really long string of bow, but just at one point your arrow is touching it. So arrow was intention, and now your intention has touched the bowstring, and that is your intention is clear, and now you are ready to shoot. So it's like that, if the point where that shooting is going to onset, if it is really tilted plus minus 5, or uh, there are slight changes in angle, it won't go in the right direction.
mm,
Therefore, what the author suggested, that when you draw the bowstring, be like a musician playing an instrument. In music, time is more important than space. A group of notes on a line means nothing, but the person who read it what is written there can transform that line into sounds and rhythm.
Hmm.
And these are really beautiful line how he has said, um, uh, that when you are leaving your arrow, it's not about it's not about how frequently you are doing. It's about the space that you are giving yourself to engraved in that particular thing, and then doing then shooting it. Yeah. So now ninth lesson, which is how to look at the target. So it says that when you are looking at the target, there are certain thoughts, certain perceived thoughts which are in your mind, and that affects how you gonna shoot. So for example, you you practiced some new sport in morning, and then you did it in afternoon and you didn't perform well. For example, you played badminton in morning and then afternoon and you couldn't hit the shuttle, or you couldn't serve. Then when in evening you start playing it, you will already be under the impression that, okay, I'm not good at it, right? So that you should stop doing to yourself. You should not carry it by the negative experiences you had, because because there are many more moments, there are many more serves that you will still have, and maybe at one point of time you will be able to shoot it. But if you don't give yourself chance, if you're already looking at the target with some negative experiences, you are never going to make it. And there is this really nice line that, do not stop either out of fear or out of joy. The way of bow has
Mhm.
no end.
Mhm.
So it simply means that do not stop when you have bad experiences, or or we suppose you have smacked really hard the shuttle and you won the point. So do not stop there as well. Do not just party, because you will be having more chances. And just the thing is that you just need to do it every day and regularly. Okay. Now, the 10th lesson, which is the moment of release. So here, he has really given it really nicely that there are two shots. And the first shot, which is made with the great precision, great technicalities, but it has no soul. So, for example, I can give an example of the people who are doing regular job and they do not like it. People who love it, I'm not talking about them who do not like it. So suppose a person doesn't like his job, is going to office, sitting on a computer work desk and clicking 3 4 buttons, printing some reports, and maybe he's best in it, but he's just doing it without thinking, it's just a routine. So eventually, there is no soul involved, he doesn't have any interest, or his heart doesn't beat out for that job. So eventually that person will abandon that job one day, and that's why we hear things like that, okay, I'll leave this job, I don't want to do it, I'm made for some great things, but you are not trying those things. Yeah. So that is the first type of shot, when you are just looking at the technicalities and the precision. And the second shot is the one which is made with the soul, um, with when the intention of the archer is transferred into the flight of the arrow, his hands opens at the right moment, the sound of a string makes the bird sing, and the gesture of shooting something over a distance provokes paradoxically enough a return to encounter with oneself. So it's the kind of shot when your whole heart and interest are involved. So suppose when you are doing things which you really like, um, um, so you will enjoy every step of it. Because for example, someone really loves cooking, so they will really enjoy how, for example, they are boiling potatoes, this they will really enjoy, okay, at what temperature I will set it, how I will cut it, should I just smash them, or put into cubes, how I'm adding the ingredients. So, and with every step, it's an encounter with themselves. They will either make it better, or do some experiment with their last memory they had encountered with it. So mm, this is all about the moment of release. Now the 11th chapter is repetition, which we all knows that a practice makes a
Practice.
person better. So just practice and practice whatever you love to do, and even if it is not enough, then practice even more, practice harder, practice stronger. And now the 12th lesson, which is how to observe the flight of the arrow. So it is about that once you have shot the arrow, once you have launched your skill, once you have launched your action, you can't do anything. It has just gone. Now, what you can do is just to follow the path before it reaches to its target. So once it left, you don't have to worry, or you don't have to be in that tensed mode. There is no reason. You couldn't say, okay, I should have done, I should have done more, I should have practiced more. You couldn't say it because there is no benefit of it. The
Hmm.
arrow has been shot already. Um, and here the mind continues to work, learning all the positive things about the shot, correcting possible error, accepting its good qualities, and waiting to see how the target reacts when it is hit. So what it simply says that when you release that tension, uh, after the arrow has been shot or after your skill is launched, you don't have to tense, because if you are tense, then you won't be able to do the recorrecting process of your mind. You won't be able to see the trajectory. So if you allow yourself, you can see how your skill is launched, what you could have done better, and also accepting the good qualities, how well, how polished you have launched your shot. So this is the thing, that how you need to observe once you deliver your action. And now after that, we will move to the last lesson, which is really interesting. It's the archer without bow, without arrow, without target. So, Archer learns when he forgot all about the rules of the way of the bow and goes on entirely on instinct. In order, though, to be able to forget the rules, it is necessary to respect them and to know them. So, I can give you a real example. So in starting, in starting, when you learn cooking and you are not living with your parents, so what you do, you follow YouTube tutorials step by step. Yeah, but after doing it like 3 4 times, you don't need to follow it. You can even
Hmm.
make your own some customized dish too. Yeah, because you have got the instinct of that skill in you. It is embedded in you, it's a part of you now. So that's what it is about, that once you learn some skill or some work, then it becomes and you are fully involved in that, then it becomes a part of you, it becomes your character. um, so this is really about it, that you don't need the instruments which you needed when you were training and drenching those morning hours to get perfect. Once you on haunt those skills, you really don't need it, because they are part of it, they are part of your personality now. And there is a line as well, once a serviceman, always a servantsman. You can't take out the service ship out of that person. Yeah?
Hmm.
And but there is a catch, that it will only happen if you will keep doing it. For example, when we see some cricketer playing a six shot, then we just see that six, we don't see how much hours he has spent in practicing that shot. So the key is that you will only learn this if you keep shooting your arrows. So that's the gist of this books, everybody. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.